this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, we talk about what's going on with the Raw Ring Report, dealing with the Elimination Chamber, and its results, the SmackDown Ring Report, where a familiar big name returns, looking for a WrestleMania moment, and Hot Topics, where is a major broadcast network looking to bid for WWE broadcast rights to air when WWE contract expired with USA. And Hot Top was with Impact Wrestling, where they on the road to Crossroads. This is the Pro Wrestling Show. Hello everyone, welcome to this brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Kendra Dix, here again for this March 4th, 2018. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Use the hashtag PWS right here. You won't miss a thing right here. PWS on Twitter and our Connect TV logo as well. So let's get started with the Raw Ring Report. Alright, on Monday Night Raw this week, it kicked off with Alexa Bliss winning the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match. Alexa Bliss did it in style, defeating 5 other challengers to retain her Women's Championship in this barbaric, gruesome match that left everyone hanging. And Alexa Bliss was the first one to do so. Big ups to Alexa. She was with Mickie James at the time until the Royal Rumble winner, Asuka, confronted her. And it's likely they're going with Bliss and Asuka. And Nia Jax come out for unfinished business with Asuka and clean house with Asuka until the Cavalry, Bayley and Sasha Banks, came out to help save Asuka. Thus turned into a 6-woman tag team match where Asuka and them won over Bliss, Bayley, and Nia Jax. But coming up this week, Nia Jax has some more unfinished business with Asuka as she goes one-on-one against the Empress of Tomorrow next week on Raw in Milwaukee. John Cena comes out and he's looking for a WrestleMania moment. He regrets that he didn't win the Elimination Chamber match and thought he was going to punch his ticket to WrestleMania on the Raw side of things. That didn't go so well, so John Cena decided, hey, I'm not coming on Raw, I'm going over to SmackDown and see what I can get over there and see if I can make my WrestleMania moment from there. Bray Wyatt defeated Heath Slater and Rhino in a match, a squash match you can call, and Bray Wyatt sent a message to Matt Hardy that he's not woken or broken, he's just Bray Wyatt and he's not going to be deleted. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, the Arctic. Finn Balor, the man who does extraordinary things, both won their respective matches over Intercontinental Champion The Miz. So now they look forward to facing The Miz either one-on-one or either in a triple threat match, however it leads to going to WrestleMania. And The Miz complaining that he hasn't got enough competition. Well, you lost between these two, so now you have competition for yourself than ever. And looking at this, Finn Balor challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, Seth Rollins challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. I think Seth Rollins needs it more so he can be able to become a Grand Slam champion. That's what the direction they're going because of that tremendous, phenomenal match that Seth Rollins did Raw with the Gauntlet match earlier the last week before the go home show. And Finn Balor might get a Universal Championship match. So big up for them. Roman Reigns, the new number 1 contender for the Universal Championship, cut a scathing promo against his opponent at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar, saying that Lesnar didn't show up. He don't care about the fans. I do. And it just went, Roman Reigns went on a tirade and saying that he wants to be the face of WWE and he can do so at WrestleMania by defeating Brock Lesnar one-on-one. And an interesting dichotomy is, could Braun Strowman be added to this match since Braun Strowman was look good at the Elimination Chamber, pinning every dude and dominating the match until he got beaten by Roman. So we'll talk about what Brock Lesnar's situation later on Hot Topics. Titus Worldwide came a little bit short, not winning the Raw Tag Team Championship away from the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. And Sheamus and Cesaro now goes on the momentum as going into WrestleMania's Tag Team Champions. But who? Either Revival, the Anderson Gallows, or could perhaps the Hardy Boys be returning? We'll never know. We'll never know. But that'd be a possibility. A possibility of things. Elias gets a little payback from Braun Strowman after what Braun had did to him. Elias using the fire extinguisher, blinding the Monster Among Men, leaving him helpless, not seeing and stuff. So is that a feud that's waiting to happen? We'll find out. And finally on the Raw Report, man oh man, the Authority, Triple H and Stephanie, came out and demanded that Ronda Rousey apologize to them from last night's her actions at Elimination Chamber, where the Authority had set up a contract signing and Ronda Rousey turned the tables on them, really upside down, turning Triple H, crashing through a table, and Stephanie slapping her so hard that's what it came to the conclusion. And now Stephanie and Triple H wanted to apologize, and Ronda came out, and Kurt Angle came out himself and said that he was making all this stuff up just to make Ronda feel angry at them. And now it came full circle where Kurt Angle, out of the blue, Triple H hit him, laying him out, laying the general manager out. So we're going to see how this transpires with Triple H and Stephanie against perhaps Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. Now this might be the third mismatch match, challenge, or whatever you want to call it. The first one was Macho Man and Sarah against the American Union Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire from WrestleMania 6. And last year's WrestleMania Mixed Match Challenge, where John Cena and Nikki Bella teamed up against husband and wife The Miz and Maurice. Now it's different, like Triple H and Stephanie are husband and wife against two Olympians, Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. So we'll see how that goes. Well, that ends the Raw Ring Report for this week. Let's move over to the SmackDown Ring Report. Alright, on SmackDown this week, we found out where John Cena is now not, what his tagline slogan is, he's never giving up. Cena said himself that he's never giving up and he wants to go to WrestleMania headlining the show. And he tried to, and Shane McMahon told him it was nothing available. And Cena tried to convince him until Daniel Bryan came out, and Daniel Bryan made the edict that if Cena goes one-on-one against a person he had history with and he knows he very well, he could be added to a match. And that man will be WWE Champion AJ Styles one-on-one. If AJ loses, Cena is in the Fastlane main event, thus making it a six-pack challenge. And at the end, John Cena won and is going to Fastlane as a challenger for the WWE Championship. And Cena could go for his 17th World Championship. It's a possibility. But speaking of Cena's opponents, Sami Zayn went against Baron Corbin. That ended into a no contest. Then Ruby Riott went against Naomi, building herself up for her momentum against Charlotte for the Women's Championship at Fastlane. And in the New Day, we're looking forward to facing the Usos once again for the Tag Team Championship after they had that classic match at Hell in a Cell for the Tag Team titles, one-on-one. And now they do it over again, where this time at the end the Bludgeon Brothers came out and stood there and just looked at them like crazy barbarians or Vikings or something. So who knows what that's going to end up being. And Shinsuke Nakamura went one-on-one against Aiden English with Rusev in his corner. Shinsuke won with the Shinskasa. The winner of the Royal Rumble gets an opportunity to meet whoever the champion between these six guys at WrestleMania for the World Championship. So it's an interesting dichotomy what's going on SmackDown this week. So, and then at the end, everyone doing move after move. Ziggler doing a move. Zayn, Owens, Corbin, AJ, and now Cena. It's just like so much going on. And then look out for next week where it's gonna be a 6-man tag team match between Corbin, Zayn Owens against Cena, Ziggler, and Styles. That's gonna try to even things out a little bit as we go. Alright, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. When we return, we're gonna have hot topics where could a network such as Fox play bid to WWE? You want to find out what I'm talking about. And the Impact Ring Report where they are heading on the road to Crossroads. All this and more when the Pro Wrestling Show returns. Stay tuned. Back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Telling you, glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Use the hashtag once again, PWS, and it stands for Pro Wrestling Show. And the Connect TV logo. Thank you all for joining us here on Connect TV. Let's get over to the Hot Topics report. Now, there are rumors rampant going on right now that I'm telling you, Fox, the television broadcast company that just sold their broadcast. Sold their broadcast to Disney and stuff, could be on a major play to aggressively get WWE into their programming. Now, could you see WWE being on Fox umbrella? Like, I could literally see it. And now they think about UFC, dropping UFC when they deal expire and bringing in WWE. That'd be a good look for $400 million. You can't beat that. Now, WWE gonna take that offer, I hope, because they're not getting that much on USA, and USA want to do fewer commercials and stuff, and NBC Universal and stuff. So we're gonna keep an eye on this and watch it piece by piece, because there was a lot of Fox executives and Fox personalities at the WWE event showing case, and so could be strange bedfellows. Who knows? Anything happen to WWE. You say that. Could the ultimate deletion match happen at WrestleMania? There have been rumors going on that at WrestleMania, Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt 1-on-1. But this is the ultimate deletion match. We don't know, but if you have been a fan of Matt Hardy and follow Matt Hardy, and you follow his Impact Wrestling days where he brought total non-stop deletion, bringing that into the forefront, giving Impact its best ratings to date. So who knows, he can probably get WrestleMania up there with their best ratings. WrestleMania sells itself as a brand, but bringing in more revenue would be an added plus. Stephanie McMahon, the chief brand officer of WWE, appeared on Lillian Garcia's Chasing Gore, and she talked about being bullied. She talked about the women's revolution, and she talked about her responsibilities in WWE. Stephanie was being open and honest about one particular thing where she almost got fired from WWE from a segment. Where Stephanie was the owner of ECW at the time, where she was supposed to do a segment and it didn't go so well with her father, and her father said don't make that same mistake twice. So Stephanie trying to learn from the lessons and stuff, and I can relate to Stephanie with that. You always have to be a little bit better than everybody else, to be honest. If you got different facets, that what stands you out. The running. Lana, the Ravishing Russian, speaks out at WWE Creative of not pushing her husband Rusev as much they could. Lana saying Rusev Day is over with the fans, but the WWE creative team don't want to pay attention to that. Well, when Ms. McMahon is the one with the pen, you got to go with the flow, my man. So I get what Lana's saying, but at the same time, it's just one man that decides your future. And probably some of the creative members, but it's just that one man who says yes or says no. So that's how it go. Neville and WWE could be back talking back negotiations. Neville, who walked out on WWE back in last fall, could be making a return sometime after WrestleMania, after Triple H has been taking control of 205 Live. This will be Neville's first time returning, if that does happen with that. Speaking of cruiserweights, Rey Mysterio is in talks to coming back to WWE on a part-time basis. Mysterio, who made a special appearance at the Royal Rumble and was almost in the Final Four, man, Mysterio could be making a return and could be possibly going against John Cena in the future if that happens. He gets signed and stuff. Brock Lesnar they say he was a no-show for Raw and preparing to return to UFC. Could we see Brock Lesnar coming back to UFC? Well, it's been possible since he was pictured with UFC President Dana White, and this made speculations rampant that Brock Lesnar could be going back to UFC with his WWE deal expire after WrestleMania if he chooses to sign. Speaking of MMA fighters, former Impact Wrestling champion Bobby Lashley is in talks to come back to WWE and has committed to come back to WWE. And look out for this after WrestleMania, where Bobby Lashley will come back and join WWE, but they want him to start against Brock Lesnar to have him some viable competition. Well, that ends the hot topics for this week. Let's move on to the Impact Ring Report. On Impact Wrestling this week, man, it started off with EC3, Impact owned two-time champion, who now WWE superstar in NXT. And he went against Tyrus, and he put on good effort, but Tyrus won to no avail, and Tyrus is your winner. So they just pushing him up as they pushing MC3 down to the down. Also, Rosemary went against Hyena. I forgot her name, but she's okay. But Rosemary picked up the win to her rival, who she had unfinished business with. Ty Valkyrie returned and told Rosemary, "You're not the top dog, I am." And Taya cleaned house with Rosemary. That what makes me think Ty Valkyrie could be a future champion in Impact with her presence, her looks, and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for Tyra. Keep an eye on Tyra, because she has the look, the appeal, and she has the ability to wrestle like a lucha. I've seen her work in Lucha Underground and other promotions. Speaking of champions, Laura Van Ness decided to marry her Knockouts championship in a crowded Impact Zone where KM was the officiator, and Laura Van Ness wanted to get to the good part, and anybody that jet, someone did a jet, and it was Braxton Sutter, the man who Laura Van Ness went crazy and batshit nuts. And he wanted Laura back, and Laura did not want him, and he got rejected. And Laura wanted to proceed to marry her Knockouts title until Allie came out in disguise as a production tech, PA or something, and attacked Laura Van Ness and sent her a message that next week on the Crossroads special, Allie gets shot at the Impact Women's Championship. So that's a good look. It's still like Knockouts Championship and women's, but I prefer women's, to be honest, because the Knockouts theme is kind of like how the Diva thing is. It's getting old and tiresome, so you best kick that out and just call them women. Alright, Caleb Lee and Trevor Lee and Caleb Connolly playing mind games with LAX and stuff. LAX played the Ultimate Mind Games back, where Conan came out of nowhere, and Conan got his boys, who was in disguise as those little conquistadors, and took out Dakota Lee. And now Dakota Lee gets a tag team title shot against Connolly and Lee. But Connolly won that match before the Earnest Championship match. Also, Alberto Del Rio issued warning to Austin Aries or Johnny Impact, whoever holds the belt, that they was keeping the title warm for him. So that's a good look too, to see who's gonna be kind of like keeping that title so warm and cozy for Alberto to challenge for the championship. And Eddie Edwards went against Eddie Edwards, and we'll get to Eddie before, but Brian Cage attacked Braxton Sutton out of nowhere and just left him laying. And in the main event was Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan. Good match. At the end, Eddie won, but Sami Callihan did something very despicable. He did a despicable act. He did a dangerous act. Sami Zayn used a baseball bat into the chair of Eddie Edwards' head, causing Eddie Edwards to go to the hospital, and reported him on the Pro Wrestling Show what had happened. Bobby Lashley tried to make the same to OVE, attacked him and stuff like that. So next week we're gonna see OVE versus Bobby Lashley and Eddie Edwards 1-on-1. And I think that's it for this week on the Impact Ring Report. Yeah. Alright, that ends the Impact Ring Report for this week. And thus ends the Pro Wrestling Show for this week. I thank you all for watching us and joining us here on Pro Wrestling Show. And I hope you return next week. We'll see you soon. Peace.